here I am, doing it again. Whatever it is, I don't know. But it's having an effect already. Watching myself over and seeing my quirks and the way that I communicate from this external perspective, and the fact that I touch my face and nose and everything. Wow, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird talking to just a camera, and it's weird then watching yourself back and hearing the words and the thoughts and knowing what it was like to be inside and then seeing it from the outside and realizing like people have been seeing me like this for a while. Like, no wonder I get the reactions that I do, I think, from people with the like glazing over, the like losing interest, because my presentation is a little bit ponderous. It doesn't seem like that from inside, because in those spaces between thoughts in my delivery, for me it feels kind of timeless. And I almost assume that the person listening to me is also entering that timeless place and feeling that I have. It's not like this calculation is going on. It's a listening. It's a listening because there's a reaching for something. There's a receptivity. Just as in making these videos, there's no script. I have no intention to script it. It's the process of it. It's the process of it, and then also the later in me watching and self-reflecting, which is a very important part. It's probably the most important part. The other important part is the awareness that it's public, that other people could see me. Other people could see me. Everything that is painted on my face and my expression and all of that, because I know that I kind of betray myself because I'm not trying to come across in a certain way. I'm trying to be authentic. And so my expressions and mannerisms are an attempt to express the energy that I'm feeling. And because often it's so fucking intense, then it's like grimaces and it's like gestures, it's theatrical and it's I think that it's part of who I am to some degree, in having a kind of performative nature. There is some abreaction in it, I think. And I'm curious about it. Like, I'm curious about why I have some kind of flamboyant performativity, if that's something that I've picked up along the way, or if there's something innate about it. I'm not sure. I'm curious. I'm curious about how, for example, in my zodiac chart, I have the most masculine sign in probably one of the most feminine. I have the most masculine planet in one of the most feminine signs, Mars in Cancer. And it's not an ideal placement for an Aries because it's so pacified. It's especially cardinal water, it's just like absorbed. It's just absorbed. I see a champion because I think of the Chariot card, and I think of a Knight of Hearts. That's what I see of the Mars and whatever. Okay, Venus in Aries. So then we got feminine sign in a masculine, feminine planet in a masculine sign. And again, that's kind of this like crossing of gender typical associations. And it makes me gender non-conforming in some ways. I think there's other things in me too. Also having Saturn in Cancer is a bit of a weird thing. Also having Aries Sun, Capricorn rising, definitely masculine, definitely kind of hard-edged, stern, patriarchal, authoritarian, typical masculine. But then Moon in Scorpio, both yin, watery, feminine, sensitive. I'm in Scorpio. It's like, but water is feminine. So all the water signs, all the earth signs are feminine, and all the air and fire are masculine. Welcome to Jesse's lecture about the elements. So it's like when I watch myself, I'm not totally comfortable. I'm a bit bothered by the flamboyance. I know that it's probably not going to go, well, I don't know, maybe it can evolve. That's what I'm hoping, so that it's not a maladaptive kind of thing, or a, oh, excuse me. It's been a day. I'll tell you about it. I want it to be like an evolved thing. Maybe it started out as a coping thing, or I don't know. I think there's a few things that go into it, but I'm curious why there's a lot of gay men with it, and also when it comes across, it's kind of cringy. Like there's something that feels off about it. In some occasions, it's funny, and we even see now like straight guys doing it. I think there's something like clowning. There's something funny about cross-gender behavior. But if somebody's doing it all the time, it feels like any kind of inauthentic behavior, any kind of mask. If it's this performativity. And this is another thing that kind of weirds me out watching myself, because I see, I psychoanalyze myself, and I see my own narcissism. Trying to be precise about it. I don't think I'm a narcissist, but I think that there are traits that I have to be wary of, that I picked up from people in my family, is my belief. But this is also chicken and egg thing. This is where I spoke about before, about not blaming, because it doesn't serve me. It doesn't benefit me to blame and give my power away and say I'm a victim. Even if there could be a truth of that, like that explained something, it doesn't help anymore. It doesn't help. It doesn't. Now that I can, I've spent enough time with those emotions. I've felt my feelings over and over and over again. And now I'm ready to put that in the compost bin and let go of it, and to have extracted the treasure from it, the nutrients of it. So I can grow and move into the next stage of myself. And I'm committed to that. I'm committed to doing whatever it takes to do that, because I believe that's part of my destiny. I believe having so much Scorpio influence in my natal chart, I see that as the natural progression. Scorpio is the black dragon of putrefaction, and my moon in Scorpio has meant that I kind of suck up negativity. I absorb it from other people and the atmosphere. And so I can be walking around and suddenly feel like a bad feeling. And it's not easy to know that it's not mine. It takes vigilance to not take on everything. Because that's what's happened. I don't discern my feelings from others. And I feel other people's feelings. I feel the feelings of the world. And somebody could be like, no, you're imagining that. It doesn't matter. That's what it feels like. That's what my experience of it is. And also my experience of my emotions are visceral. I physically feel them. I feel pain and nausea, headaches, weakness. I feel burning, itching, irritation. Those emotions translate into physical sensations for me. That's not the only. I also experience the subtler aspects of emotions. Because it is from this subtle place to this physical place, but and everybody does feel emotions in their body. I'm not saying that I'm extra special, but it is especially intense with myself. I don't think that most people feel their emotions as intensely as I do, and I don't think that most people feel emotional all the time like I do. And it's not it's not I do not cry. Fixed water, Scorpio, plus my combination, my Capricorn rising, and the moon, the moon in Scorpio being in the 10th house. I think these all go into this mix. Also, well, I don't know. Aries could be a crybaby. Aries could be emotive, but not just very briefly. I think more anger is more comfortable for Aries, I think. But anyways, I keep it in. I learned a long time ago. I remember when I learned it or relearned it. I think there's been some repeated times of coping with intense situations in a certain way. And that is to harden. And I think of it like obsidian. I think of myself like obsidian, becoming kind of black and glassy. And it's some kind of coping mechanism, sure. But I think it's kind of the scorpionic. And Saturnian. So those energies together in me, kind of combining. 10th house is Saturnian because it's Capricorn's house. And then my Capricorn rising, and then also having Saturn in a water sign as well. Also, I have Uranus, and which it's a sort of generational effect. So I don't totally understand how that manifests in me, but I think that it's my kind of radical approach to sexuality, and it's I think it's a kind of, I'm not sure. It's weird. It's weird, whatever it is. And it's kind of mysterious. And it's kind of high-minded because it's in my 9th house. It's kind of elevated. You've got to get a bit high to understand it. Also, my Uranus is retrograde, which suggests that it's even more subtle and internal. I don't know. It's some kind of weird alien witch powers or something. North Node, almost conjunct the MC in Scorpio as well. So this is my trajectory, working through the chord, the triad of scorpionic modalities. So I think I'm coming into the Phoenix phase. I like that. I'll be Jean Grey. Now, I think this chironic return, it is unleashing that kind of power, which I've been afraid of, which I've been resistant to. And ain't nobody got time for that anymore. There's no more time for that. I'm outgrowing it, and I'm ready to do whatever is necessary to really grow into the self that I want to be, that I know I can be. And it's an awesome place. I have a lot of inclination about it, about being without shame and without guilt and without resentment and anxiety and fear of rejection and fear of punishment. It's a pretty exciting place. And actually, I don't care if next week the world comes to an end, because in this moment, I'm not living in fear. In this moment, I know who I am. In this moment, I feel a connection to Source. In this moment, I'm not worried about making enough money. In this moment, I can trust that everything's okay. That's okay enough. And that if something changes, I can deal with it. I'll deal with it when that bridge, if I cross that bridge, and that the universe actually has my back. That this is not a punishment, it's an opportunity. And it can be really great. And I don't need to do anything a certain way. The formula isn't that complicated, but the way that each person comes to it, I think, and implements it is always unique. It's the adventure. It's the self-discovery. It's what makes it worth it. That we each discover it in our own way. That we discover how to emphasize beauty in our lives. That we figure out how to find the silver lining. That we can recognize I don't know where that was going. Recognize, remember the spirit we had coming into this world. The joy and the innocence when we were a child. Like right out before anybody smacked us. Cut off parts of our body. Injected stuff into us. Before any of that. But damn, are we resilient, because even after all of that fuckery, we're still actually pretty joyous for a while. Till we get around, 37. 49 and pretty ornery, pretty worn out and pissed off and dimmed. However, that initial light, that initial joy, it never dimmed. It's just as bright as it always was. So there's grime on the windows. There's dirt on the doors of perception. We've picked up a bunch of shit, and now we just need to give it back to the thrift store that we bought it from. I don't think that, simplifying our lives is definitely a good way to do it. That's what I want to do, excuse me. Yeah. See, because I'm exhausted. I just want to sleep, but we can find fresh enthusiasm when we unplug some of the things that are draining us, and having a lot of stuff can be draining. You gotta maintain it. You gotta maintain a place that you can keep it. When I've been traveling and I just have a small amount of things, I feel so much freer and more alive. That's what I felt when I was traveling. I don't need a fraction. I don't need the amount of stuff that I have. It's kind of, I think in some ways it's kind of a coping mechanism that's just normalized, and our whole society is built around it. And this, I think that we could live in a world where individually we had a lot less stuff and be happier. If you will own nothing and be happy. Who knows, maybe the dude's right. Why, if he's really trying to, why be so creepy? Get a better PR guy. Yeah. Okay, so this is today's August 5th video, and I'm just doing it for the process of it. Just doing it for the process of it. It's not a lecture, it's not a lesson, it's not a whatever, it's just me being myself I don't know. It's just me self-reflecting, revealing myself to the internet, pulling it out and flopping it on the table. Probably wouldn't be that impressed with that. I'm savoring every moment like it's the last. I'm totally accepting that the world might blow up. There's a plasma incursion. There's whatever. I mean, any case, I feel resilient enough to deal with it. During COVID, I was thinking, they're listening, they're going to carry me away because I didn't get whatever. All the worst possible scenarios were, in the daily mix. And So I feel like I've been through every apocalyptic scenario multiple times, many times. And again, I think because I feel I do pick up people's emotions, and then we've got, you know, social media, and my God, I need some tea. No, this is later in the day than it's better if I do this in the morning. Also, today was overcast. I got excused, okay? At this point, I feel like anything could happen. I'd just be like, yeah. Some of it, I mean, I want to see the plasma incursion. I want to see the big sprites. I want to see the only thing that would piss me off is if I die too soon and I don't get to see the cool stuff. Like that's kind of what because there's not going to be any TV shows to watch at all. Like, it's not going to be a Hollywood movie. It's not going to be recorded. I mean, maybe some people are going to somehow, I don't know. But I'm probably not going to get to be part of the bunker party that watches the world go down via drone. That's my only concern. So it's like, how do I get into one of those bunkers? How do I get to the end of the world after party? I don't know, but I'm hoping that the elves that live inside the earth, the Garthans, not the Drow, I don't want the Drow to find me, but the Agarthans, if I'm hoping that they might come and find me and bring me down to my rightful family, my native species. And then the surface can get, scrubbed off. Plasma explosion, whatever, all that stuff. And then, I don't know if they, I can have a little nap and then wake up 1,000 years later or something. And then it's beautiful again. That's my hope. That's what I'm hoping for.